the role of ego in the enlightenment process. Be ready to have your beliefs tested, because there's a lot of rubbish out there in regards to what the ego is and how bad it is, and you've got to kill it. So let's get clear on some facts. Without your ego, you'll end up in the loony bin. And I'm Jason at AwakenedEssence.com. This is part of the laws of grace. And your job with your ego is to use it to your advantage. For your ego to say those magical words, am I present? And then not listen to your ego and check the 4 steps, which is why correct presence practice is pillar 1 here in the Enlightened Essence framework. It's also the same framework at studentsuccesstutor.com, so students can sort out their life and have photographic memory and get their studies done. And learnwhispering.com, where we teach you how to use basically presence and the enlightenment process with no spiritual words or mumbo jumbo, so you can do this to completely wild animals. Here's the evidence. This is a long-billed corella. They're normally quite a timid parrot. Look at it. Look at it. What? See if he... Come over here, buddy. We'll show the people. Come on, Kylo. Watch this. You gonna lift your wing? You gonna lift your wing for me? See that? You will see it, I hope. Oh, sweet. You're such a good conditioned bird. 100% wild. So why is it trusting me? This is what the 9-pillar framework and the laws of grace is all about. This bird can feel and know it's safe with me. So it's learnt the habit. I've helped it develop the habit that this human here is okay. And he doesn't freak out. Enlightenment is a habit, and your ego is required for you so you can function and know where you start and stop. Yep, our egos have lots of garbage in there, from unconscious parents, unconscious society, and you training it wrong. Anything with DNA, be it anything from the grass to the trees to these birds, they're all habit machines. And if you are living in the default state with the right habit, are you present right now? Do you know what the steps are? The 4 steps? And to check that. Oh, patience, you're getting in a fight with Kylo, you won't win. Eh? Wow. Hello. I've never had a corella actually land on my shoulder before. What's your habit? What's your habit? So the ego is, just as your ego trained well, or is your ego trained so it distracts you, puts you in suffering, the chattering in your head is always negative? Oh, look at this. The little corella. Come on, sweet. When you enter the spiritual path, people like to blame the ego for everything, eh? And if they want to insult you, they'll say, oh, that's you being in your ego. If you awaken to the abiding level of awakening and you are not, your ego's not ready, it's not integrated, it's not gone through the Jungian individuation process, you will go dysfunctional, or you'll turn into a monster who thinks it's okay to do things to people that they will later regret. Hashtag me too. That's ego stuff, eh? Oh, beautiful timing. Grace. So when you hit the abiding awakening place as defined in this website, where the habit to be present is conscious and unconscious, which is where the ego resides, in the unconscious mind. If you've practiced your way there, it's a really big shock and you can cope. If you haven't practiced your way there, like Ramana Maharshi or Eckhart Tolle or other people I've talked to, if you haven't practiced your way there so you're aware of the process and what it's like, you go dysfunctional. If you enter the second cycle of awakening that I define in this website, oh wow. Come on, sweet, come back. It's a matter of persistence. Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. If you haven't practiced your way to presence, you'll go dysfunctional and not cope. And that's just no fun. But in the transpersonal cycle of awakening, which is later down the track, after you're deeply abiding in presence, and there's another page and video on that, 5 to 20 years later after you're permanently awake, if you find yourself in grace, the God thing decides to grace you and take you to the transpersonal level, if you don't have a stable ego that can handle the consciousness of other beings as if they're you, then you won't cope and you will go to the loony bin. Because you can't tell where your stuff and their stuff starts. Don't worry, that one won't happen to you until you've been abiding long enough, unless you're a super evolved soul or something and you can cope with it. So in the 9 pillar framework here, it's all about correct presence practice, so you know you are correctly present, you know that you are connecting with the divine, and then dealing with life. Everybody on this planet has now had to deal with the pandemic and the restrictions and the health concerns, and for some people, losing people and all the rest. Losing freedoms for sure. How did you handle that? There's the evidence for you. So when your ego is balanced and you're able to master your emotions, which happens in the non-abiding phase before you hit abidance, you'll be able to hold anger, sadness, rage, grief, frustration, fear while you hold presence. And when you're good enough at it, you can hold your connection with God and be absolutely blissed off your tree and have these things running at the same time. Sounds a bit counterintuitive, but that's just because enough people haven't talked about it for it to be accepted as normal. This is what happens. I've got videos here on that. So your ego is your habit machine with all of its bad habits, from what you've learnt, what's in your DNA, what you take on unconsciously through not being present in life and going with the flock, so to speak. Those birds knocked my tripod as I said that. Oh, the little corellas are here. Oh, this is magical. Hello, Patience. You going to share with a little corella? He might do. He's one of the few parrots that will. That's his habit. That's why he's got the name Patience. Oh, sorry, darling. Pushed him off. So we're all unique, eh? All these birds are unique. They all have different personalities. They all have a range of normal habitual behaviours. Squawk. Can it, mate? Pillar number 2 in the 9 pillar framework here is it includes all of you. Your ego's part of you. So are your emotions and your trauma and your change of lifestyle when you're in lockdown or sickness or looking for a job with financial worries, you know. Having the ability to buy food is, you know, a requirement of being a human being. Come on, little Corella, show these cockatoos who's boss. So when you're including all of you, you're including your ego and how it feels and whatever's going on in your life. Are you present while that's happening? This is the golden question, and that's why correct presence practice is number 1. Doing the steps and evidencing it so you know. That will validate it for you and grow it and reinforce the habit to reset your unconscious mind to the place of presence practice. So you don't behave like these birds, eh? Totally unconscious. Hey. And habit machines. So at the moment, right now, some of these birds are slower at learning habits than others because if I can get them across. Come on, sweet. Oh, he flew off. There's little Corellas here. It's taken 14 months to get these little fellas to come over and eat out of our hands. 14 months. What would happen if you sat down and just did nothing but practice presence for 3 hours a day for 14 months? You could have yourself easily in the non-abiding phase by then, eh? Possibly, if you were doing it right. That's the maths. Possibly. Depends on you. And when you're present, you can choose your behaviours, eh? Like, I'm choosing to enjoy this nice little scrap between this Corella and cockatoo. Oh, they're funny. With your ego, it's just a matter of, is it trained and is it willing to be there in presence with you? Because when you hit the abiding phase of awakening, your ego learns that presence has some really good goodies, like, you know, peace and happiness when it feels like crap. You'll still feel like crap, but you'll have presence and peace at the same time and the suffering's gone. You're not layering over the nonsense with your head on top of it all. Who's going to come up? Come on. Hey, who's this? Who's this? Is this you? You patient? Yeah, you're patience. Good bird. Oh, that was nasty. You scuttled Mr. Patience, eh? I think this is Mr. Jumpy. He's a jumpy wee bird, aren't you, buddy? Eh? Yeah, Mr. Jumpy, notice? I named the birds like I'm a 5-year-old because why would that be? Pillar 5, the unconscious mind, and how do you talk to your unconscious mind? How does your unconscious mind respond to you? Like a 5-year-old. Loving, caring, and it just takes everything as true. Which is why if you dwell on negative stuff, then it tends to create negative stuff. If you dwell on presence, you awaken. Hey Red, how you going, buddy? Hey. So here in this framework, this website, these courses at AwakenedEssence, at learnwhispering.com and Student Success Tutor, we incorporate the ego, the unconscious mind. When you have the rule book and the operation manual for your unconscious mind, then you can tune it and work with it and hone it to be how you want it, because it's yours. And then it will cooperate with your spiritual, so you have all that good stuff that spiritual people want. The connection with the everythingness and the non-sparkling sparkle nothingness. You will get there. It is mathematical because it's about habit, about your attention, and where you're placing it. And then if there are parts of your ego, your personality that you don't like, then you can use your presence and your inquiry skills to round yourself out to be a person that you would like, or someone tells you you have to be. Notice the timing. When I said someone tells you how to be, they did it twice. They squawked at the time when I said that. Yeah, it's pretty magical. Hello. Hello. And that's why the 9 Pillar Framework's available free in this website and at studentsuccesstutor.com and learnwhispering.com, because it's for you to test it and see how it goes. If you apply this framework, your progress will be fast. Assuming you're doing Pillar 1, Correct Presence Practice, correctly. And that's why the Correct Presence Practice course is the introductory course where I help teach you the habit. All the video sessions are practice sessions where we cover what's required. And it includes at least one coaching session so I can check in to make sure you are doing it right, because most people don't do it right even when they reckon they're highly enlightened. I've got a lot of evidence on this from people I've interacted with. Everybody thinks they do it right. That's the ego speaking. What's the evidence? Hello, Patience. You've been bossed off, mate, haven't you? This guy's ego, well, if you could call it that, he's just a sweet, sweet parrot, aren't you, darling? And you're quite patient, unlike this one that's biting me. See, he won't bite me, he'll just watch and wait, won't you, buddy? Eh? I was about to tell that one off. Coming up? Yep. What's your name? Eh? See, we're habit machines, and this parrot here has learnt through being with me that I could do that to him, and he didn't squawk, he didn't freak out, he didn't fly away, so he trusts me. And that's what your presence will do, and that's why I teach the same stuff at learnwhispering.com without the spiritual jargon and the extra spiritual burdens that come with trying to reach this enlightenment thingo. And when you can commune with totally wild animals that can make you bleed instantaneously and they're at peace, it's a good sign, eh? That's evidence. Look at them. Yeah. Eh? It's quite magical. Notice Patience bit his tail, and then someone bit his tail. Oh, Patience is... It's magic. It's a horribly cold, windy day, but this is magic. Hello, Runt. How are you going? Runt's quite a sweet little bird too. Eh? You're a sweet little bird. You handle the cuddles, don't you, Runties? Eh? You're a sweet little bird. Which means you get bullied a lot because you're quite small. Eh? Yeah. You're a beautiful little man. Eh? You're sweetie. And this little fella's feeling new on the scene, aren't you, honey? Eh? And look, I just about pushed him off my leg then. I was giving him, rubbing him that hard. Eh? You're a darling. Hey? Do you speak to your ego that way? Pillar 5? Go and read and watch the Pillar 5 one, the unconscious mind. If you treat your unconscious mind like it's your best friend, your most loved friend, your brother, sister that's 5 years old that you love to bits, instead of doing that, you'll progress really fast into noticeable depths of presence that happen through your day, because your unconscious mind will support you in learning that habit. Hey, and this is another advantage of presence, and this is one of the ways you can tell you're in it. You go into peripheral vision, so while I was looking all around me, I could see that bird was going to try and eat my microphone cable, which they have done on a number of occasions, and this is my 4th or 5th microphone. It's part of the price of having divine, beautiful, powerful parrots, eh? Don't you reckon? So work with your ego. When you're having a bad day, practice your presence. Allow yourself to feel the frustrations and all those emotions while you're practicing your presence. The habit will wear in. That's what the courses are for, the coaching and the mastery club. Hey, Patience, you beautiful, beautiful man. Eh? Yeah, I know. He's gentle. He just gives me a gentle warning. You don't really ever bite, do you, mate? Eh? No, you don't. Hey. So test the framework. Check out the videos. And I really recommend the Correct Presence Practice course, because that will give you the specifics of how to really make this work, and if you're doing it, then you'll notice really quite fast progress. And we will get some one-on-one time to get clear on what you are doing and how to make it better and answer your questions. If you think I'm wrong about the ego, let me know, because when you go transpersonally aware, I can tell you that certainly tested my ego to the nth degree. Whoa, did it what? Which is the second cycle of enlightenment that's extremely rare at this point in time. Hello, is that you, Snuggles? Eh? Who's this? It's probably Jumpy. Eh? See, I don't know if you can see that, I was rubbing Snuggles on his back just then. Come up, buddy, come up. See? Oh, sorry, I pushed them off. So they're trying to eat your tail, mate. Come over, Patience. Patience, come across. You fell off. So mull that one over for a week or two. The ego is required, it's just a matter of training and asking the question, am I present, and holding my presence while my ego tries to do all of its bad habits. The presence practice is the good habit that will awaken you, so you permanently awaken. And as your presence levels grow, it will put you through that individuation process, as Carl Jung talks about. Which means you're assisting this planet in a massive way that we probably can't comprehend, because us humans need to do a bit of growing up, hey, before we wipe out the planet and all these beautiful things that live on it. It's not just about me anymore, eh? It's about me and beautiful things. You know what I mean? To be surrounded by stunning animals that also have a right to live on this planet, and we have to learn to coexist with them. Hey, beautiful man. You gonna let me kiss you? No. See you in the next video. I'm Jason for AwakenedEssence.com. If all the spiritual mumbo jumbo seems a bit much, because it is fairly advanced how I speak about it. I'm not into the waffle and the truisms and the one sentence memes that can usually mean stuff that's very distracting and makes people lazy. I just get to the point. So if that's all a bit much, learnwhispering.com. See you there. Hello, who are you? Who's this? So you, Runt. Hello, Runt.